Hello listeners and viewers. Welcome to Kaduna State Ministry of Education Radio and TV e-learning program designed for our SS3 and other students staying at home due to the coronavirus pandemic. The present administration, under the able leadership of His Excellency, Malam Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, is positioned as always to ensure that under his leadership, our students are not left behind in all areas of human endeavors, especially education. Kaduna State is the center of learning. Therefore, we want to ensure that our students excel in their forthcoming examinations and beyond. Students and other learners at home are given this opportunity in order to continue learning, as education is a continuous process. Different subjects will be taught in this program to assist students to perform excellently in the forthcoming Senior School Certificate examination being conducted by NECO and WAEC as soon as schools reopen. Teachers making presentations will always provide their names and phone numbers during each presentation, and they can be contacted for questions, further explanations, and/or clarifications. The following numbers and contacts can also be reached for expression of any concern or observation: 090-865-00545 or 080-383-62072. Our website is www.education.kdsg.gov.ng. Our email education@kdsg.gov.ng or education.kdsg@gmail.com. Our YouTube channel, Ministry of Education, Kaduna State. Our Twitter handle @Kaduna_MOE. Or our Facebook page, Ministry of Education, Kaduna State. Stay safe, stay at home, and learn well. Thank you, happy listening, and happy viewing.
Hello learners, welcome to another segment of learning. I am Mrs. Chinyo and I will be taking government. Our topic today is franchise. Sometimes people call suffrage instead of franchise. It means the same thing. Today's lesson will be discussed under 3 headings. These are definition of franchise, also known as suffrage. Classification of franchise. Last but not the least, types of franchise. In the course of our discussion, please, I don't want you to get confused. I will be using franchise and suffrage interchangeably. It means the same thing. Now let us look at the definition of franchise. Franchise can be defined as the political rights of citizens of a country to vote and be voted for in an election. Now, anywhere you hear the word franchise, it refers to the citizen of a country's rights, their constitutional rights, politically to stand for election themselves or to go out and vote people of their choice without let or hinder. Now that type of rights or privilege is what we refer to as franchise. Now I want you to note that people or citizens that qualify to go out and vote people of their choice during an election are called electorates, while those who desire and come out to contest for position in order to govern or represent their people are called candidates. I want us to look at the main classification of franchise. Franchise is divided into two main classes. There is what we call limited or restricted franchise. Don't forget, I am trying to describe the main classification of franchise. And I said franchise is classified into two main groups. The first I call limited or restricted franchise. What do we mean by that? By way of definition. Restricted franchise is a practice whereby the political rights to vote and be voted for is reserved or given to selected citizens. In this case, we are saying that it is not every citizen that is given the right to either vote or stand in for election and be voted for. Why? Because there are some criteria such a person has not met. That brings us to look at factors that inform franchise given to a few people. Restricted franchise is determined by the following factors. 1. Sex of the citizen. There are some countries that women are denied franchise. They cannot go out to vote, let alone stand and vie for an elected position. Only the male folk are given that voting right. In that case, you will say sex is a determinant factor under restricted franchise. The next factor is race, which I give the name skin color. That is the right of a citizen to vote and be voted for depends on the color of his skin. I will give you an example of a typical country that practices this type of franchise. South Africa, before they gained their independence, they were practicing apartheid, a discriminatory political system against the black race. Now, under apartheid regime of South Africa, blacks were denied franchise. They were not allowed to go to vote, let alone stand and vie for political position. 3, years of residency. In restricted franchise, a citizen can be denied the right to vote and be voted for because he has not resided in the country or the state where the election will be conducted for a specified number of years. Maybe the Constitution says for you to be given franchise, you must have been a resident of 20 years. That means anybody that has not attained the age of 20 in that state or country is what? Is denied franchise. Level of education is another factor. In some books, instead of level of education, you will see the word fancy. What does this mean? It is a practice whereby only people that attain certain level of education are given franchise. It may be the condition they will give is that you must have a university education, or you must have a higher or lower diploma, or you must have passed through the secondary school and you have your secondary school leaving certificate, or primary school. Now they will give a condition that you must attend certain level of education before you are allowed to vote. In that case, it is called what? Level of education. Then religious affiliation. Religious affiliation simply means the religion you belong to. In some countries of the world, religion plays a very important role in their politics. Ownership of property. In Nigeria, even before independence, when Macpherson's Constitution was introduced in 1922, and the right to vote was to be given to some Nigerians, property actually played a part. You must be an owner of property, good structure, buildings. You own wealth, properties in the land before you are allowed to vote. The reason for that is very simple. The Europeans then believed that only people that invested in heavy property in the country, that have a stake in the country, they will care for the country because they don't want their investment to go down the drain. The next is what? Wealth or poverty. Now, in this context, franchise is only given to wealthy people and denied to poor people. If you were considered poor, I think in 1922 they said you must earn about £100 before you will be given franchise. How many people earned those money in those days? Very few. So you find out that the wealth of a citizen actually guarantees him or serves as a factor that gave him franchise. While the poor were denied because they had nothing at stake. They had no wealth to protect in the country. Therefore, their views politically were not important as far as those that made the rules in those days we are concerned. Now, that brings us to the second classification of franchise. This is called unlimited franchise. What do we mean by that? Unlimited franchise is a practice whereby all qualified citizens are entitled to the right to vote and be voted for. Sometimes, unlimited franchise is what we call universal adult suffrage. And that is what is popular now in almost all the democracies of the world. We practice universal adult suffrage. Below are important factors considered in giving unlimited franchise, otherwise known as universal adult suffrage. 1. Age. In Nigeria, for example, franchise is given to the citizens that have attained the age of 18. Once you are 18 years old in Nigeria today, you can stand for election and you can vote the person of your choice, depending, however, on the office you are vying for. Britain and the US also give franchise to citizens of 18 years old. Germany pegs theirs to 20 years, while India stands for what? 21 years. All these are qualifications. Once you have attained these ages, in most democracies of the world, you are given the right to vote. Number 2, citizens have to register and have a voter's card. To qualify for universal adult suffrage, all you need to do is to do what? Go and register during voters registration and then collect your permanent voter's card. Once you do that, when the next election comes, you can do what? You can vote. Number 3, citizens must be sane. That is, they must be mentally sound, not crazy, not mad. You cannot pick a madman on the streets or someone you know is mad, chain at home, and say he should be given the right to vote and be voted for. No, he will not qualify. Only those that are sane will be given or are given franchise. Number 4, citizens must have resided in the country for the number of years as specified by the Constitution. Every constitution has their criteria for giving franchise. If the Constitution says you must reside in Nigeria or Ghana or US for 20 years before you are given the right to vote and be voted for, then you must fulfill that Constitution. If you fulfill that Constitution and you are denied franchise, then you have a case to take up legally. We are looking at factors that qualifies one for universal adult suffrage. I hope you are following. Number 5, citizens must not have been convicted under a competent court of law. The point here is franchise will not be given to criminals, people that at one point or the other in their lives were convicted for a serious crime by a competent court of law. Maybe you have committed murder and you were able to buy your way out. I am not saying it happens. I'm just giving you serious issues that can deny you franchise. Or you were once indicted as a criminal, armed robber, and the likes. Such cases, you cannot be given what? Franchise. What will you come and tell the citizens? That I was an ex-armed robber or murderer and now I want to be your leader? It cannot be. Number 6, for candidates, that is those who want to stand and vie for political election, such a person must not be bankrupt. That is, the bank must not have charged you for bankruptcy. You borrowed money, you have to sell all your property, you are owing left, right, and center. You are bankrupt. Now, such people cannot vie, they cannot stand for any elected position because they have been declared financially distressed, bankrupt. Having discussed that, the next important issue I want us to look at this afternoon is types of suffrage. Now, if you look at the previous unit, we said main classification of suffrage. Do not get confused. We want to look at types of suffrage now. 1, universal adult suffrage. Universal adult suffrage means the voting rights that is given to all adults, whether they are male or female, whether they are Muslims, Christians, traditional believers, or atheists. As long as they are sane, you give them franchise. As long as they have attained the age of 18, in the case of Nigeria, they qualify for franchise. So when you are asked to describe type of franchise, this is where you are supposed to fall back to. Number 2, adult male suffrage. Up to 1954, in Nigeria, in northern Nigeria to be specific, only male were given franchise. Women were not allowed to vote up to that period. In fact, up to 1959 in Nigeria, women were not allowed to vote, only the male folk. Now, it is a practice whereby it is adult male, sane, that are given the right to stand for political elective position or to go out as electorate to vote people of their choice. This practice, it is believed that men or the male folk, we are more sensible in their choice. They are not carried by emotion like women. Some of the arguments are based on that. Number C, taxpayers' suffrage. This is a practice whereby only people that have evidence or receipt to show that through that elective year that they have consistently paid their taxes. Those were the only people that qualified franchise. Anybody, whether you were wealthy, you owned property, you were a male or a female, but had no evidence to show that you paid your taxes to your community and your society, you were denied franchise. Number 4, property owner suffrage. Now, this is a practice whereby only individuals that own landed properties in the country or in the province or in the states were given franchise. The argument was that it is only such people that had invested their capital in owning properties in the country that will have the interest of that country at heart. Because if anything went wrong, they stand to lose their capital, they stand to lose their investment, they stand to lose their property. So it is assumed that such people will work for the progress of that society. But before stepping out, I will leave you with the following assignments. I want you to work on the assignments and send it to me because I will mark it. The questions are: 1. Define suffrage. 2. State 3 types of suffrage of your choice. I take it again. Define suffrage. State 3 types of suffrage of your choice. I still remain Chinyo Juliana with this phone number 0805 87 06 029, or you send your assignment to my email at julianachinyo@gmail.com. julianachinyo@gmail.com. I take the number again: 0805 870 6029. Email address: julianachinyo@gmail.com. Please stay safe. Coronavirus is real. Stay at home. Study what we are teaching you. Keep yourself busy with the assignments. I hope to see you in our next class. Thank you.